Olight just released the new Warrior Mini 3 in a new color called Midnight Horizon, and it looks amazing. Olight also released a few new colors for previously released EDC flashlights, such as the Warrior 3S, which is now available in OD Green, and the Baton 3 Pro, which now comes in Desert Tan. And during the July sale, returning customers will be able to receive a free i1R2 Pro in Pinwheel Orange, and new customers will be able to get an i3E EOS in Vibrant Orange as well. In this video, I'll be focusing on the features of the new Warrior Mini 3 and doing a side-by-side beam shot comparison between the Baton 3 Pro and the Warrior 3S and the Warrior Mini 3, so that you can decide which flashlight will best fit your EDC needs. Upon unboxing, you'll find the manual, the Warrior Mini 3 itself, along with a 3.6 volt 3500 mAh rechargeable 18650 lithium-ion battery, an MCC multi-amp magnetic charger, and an L-dock with adhesive. The Mini 3 is made of aluminum alloy, is IPX8 water resistant, has an impact rating of 1.5 meters, and weighs just over 100 grams or just over 4 ounces with the battery on board. I'll leave the tech specs from the manual on the screen now, just in case I leave out any details, so pause the video here to see those details. During my runtime test starting in the 1750 lumen turbo mode, the Mini 3 gradually ramped down by 29% after 2 minutes and then ran at that lower lumen output for an additional 3 hours and 26 minutes, and then it gradually ramped down again until the battery became completely depleted for a total runtime of 4 hours and 9 minutes from turbo. And during my thermal test in the 1750 lumen turbo mode, the Mini 3 reached a max thermal output of 126 degrees Fahrenheit or 52 degrees Celsius after about 1 minute of use. And during my recharge time test using my Olight MCA charger, the Warrior Mini 3 took 2 hours and 55 minutes to fully recharge from completely depleted, which was about 35 minutes faster than the suggested recharge time stated in the manual. Now let's take a quick tour of the modes and general operation of the Olight Warrior Mini 3. This is the modes and general operation portion for the Warrior Mini 3, and as you can see guys, this new gradient that they have here called Midnight Horizon is a pretty nice looking color to put on this light. It looks really good. It actually matches the background there. And as you can see, there are a couple new features. First off is the tail switch, which is amazing. It looks so much better than the former tail switch that they had before. It actually has a little bit more of a premium feel to it. When you push it down, it actually feels like you have to put some effort into it to turn it on and off. Whereas the old one, you could just slightly bump it and it would literally turn on and off really quickly and easily. Whereas this one, you actually have to put a little bit of effort into, and it's quieter. You can't really hear it. And also, we have a new pocket clip. So you can see the pocket clip on the old one is kind of just very, very plain, whereas this one has a little bit more of a robustness to it. It also looks like the Seeker 3. There's also a new button here. You can see that it's like nice and flush on the light, whereas this old one just kind of pushes out a little, and it's kind of, you can bump it very easily, where this one's kind of flush with the light so that you're not accidentally bumping it and you actually have to push it down in order to get it to turn on. Which is a great segue for me to bring up the new proximity feature, or the downshift feature. Now basically what that is the proximity sensor inside this flashlight that protects you from accidentally burning yourself. Essentially what you do is, if you wanted to put this in the turbo mode, you double click and you're in turbo, but you're not, because it downshifted to the medium output, which is 120 lumens. And if you wanted to go ahead and cycle through, you can go ahead and cycle through, but if you go ahead and you put that in that turbo or high mode again, it's gonna cycle back down. Now say that you're close up to something and you want to override it, you can override it as long as you double click it back into turbo within that 5-second span of time. As for the tail switch, so if you go ahead and you put that into the high, and say you bump it in your backpack or in your pocket, you're not going to be able to do that. It's going to downshift and you're not going to be able to burn anything. Side switch, same thing. And then unless you want to override it, then you can go ahead and double tap it. Say that you use the tail switch and for some reason it downshifts because something's in front of it. What you could do is you can go ahead and just hit the side switch and it will override it. So it's an override, so you don't always have to have that proximity sensor on, but that's a really nice little feature to have so that you're not accidentally burning holes in your pocket. Another thing about the proximity sensors is you want to make sure that your lens is nice and clean all the time. Otherwise, you might accidentally trip that proximity sensor, and that's going to be a problem. You're going to have to always kind of override your flashlight after that point. So that's something to mention for the future, just in case you guys are rough with your flashlights and you scuff up the lens. Now, jumping into some of the features, obviously, lockout mode, same standard for everything. Just hold it down, light turns on a little bit, then it shuts off. then you're locked out, it turns red, and then you go ahead and you just repeat the process again, it turns on again, and you're able to turn your flashlight on and do whatever you need to do. Now, the other thing is direct turbo still works the same, 1, 2. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. If you want to use the moonlight mode, you just hold the button down on the side, goes into that moonlight mode, and then you go ahead and you can still use the tail switch to go into the medium mode, and then obviously to that turbo mode as well. So that way you have plenty of options for whenever you want to use that tail switch. The tail switch is a very nice tactical touch. Speaking of tactical touches, if you wanted to use the tail switch tactically, all you have to do is hold down the tail switch and the side button at the same time, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to get this cool feature where you can now momentary on the low mode, and then when you fully depress it, it goes into that strobe mode. So half press gives you the momentary on for the lower mode, and then full press gives you that high output turbo strobe mode. So that's what you got going on there. If you wanted to reverse that, hold down this back button and press the side button once, and you're out of that mode. Now you're going to be in that regular standard mode where you can go ahead and press it and it will turn on like normal. So you have half press for the lower mode, full press for the higher mode, and then obviously you can shut it off. If you wanted to momentary on, you lightly half press, and then you can just release and it turns off. And if you wanted to use the higher mode, you fully press it and it will turn on that as well to the turbo mode, and then you just release it again, full press and release in order for it to turn on and stay on. So that's how that configuration works. You have your memory mode, obviously, if you turn the light on, and you can go ahead and cycle through. So you just press the side button, and then you can cycle through like this by holding it down. And whatever the last mode that you had it on, when you turn the light off, it's still gonna be in that mode. Even if you turn the light off and then you use the turbo mode, and you go ahead and use that tail switch, you're gonna turn it off. When you go back into pressing the side button, it's gonna bring you right back into that mode that you left it in. So you always have a memorized mode, so you're not like blinding yourself when you turn the light back on. Now, in comparing the Warrior Mini 3 to the other new lights that are out, well, these aren't actually really new. The Baton 3 Pro has been out for a little while, and so has the Warrior 3S. And I think that they're great flashlights all around, and basically every single one of these are for different situations and different scenarios. So say that your work requires you to be more tactically capable, you're going to want to use the Warrior Mini. It has the cool white output, which affects your eyes, affects your sight a little bit different than if you used the Baton 3 Pro, which uses a neutral output for the light. That neutral white output is a lot easier on the eyes, whereas the Warrior Mini 3 is a lot more harsher on the eyes with the cool white output. There's also no tactical switch on the Baton 3 Pro, whereas there is a tactical switch on the back of the Warrior Mini 3, and there's also a tactical switch on the back of the Warrior 3S, which is excellent, works great, and it gives a nice punch. And it also has the same memory mode as well as the new Warrior 3. So you just hold down that back button, press the side button, and it gives you the same options as before, except for this time you have the direct to turbo when you half press, and when you fully depress, it's going to give you that strobe as well. And all you have to do, same thing, you just press the side button and the tail switch at the same time, again, to cycle out of that. So very, very nice features. I mean, all these features are pretty standard. The UI for most Olight flashlights are pretty much the same. Now, if you really wanted to decide on a different flashlight, I mean, they're all the same flashlight, essentially. They're just different colors with slightly different features. Like this one is 1750 lumens, this one's 1500 lumens, this one's 2300 lumens. These two take the same battery size, whereas this one takes a 21700 battery, which is larger battery, bit more capacity. This is higher output, obviously, too. You know, if you look at the beam shots that I've done for this video, there's a lot of differences between the two of them. When I get it outside, I'll show you guys. But here's the deal, right? I personally every day carry a Warrior Mini 3 now because it's just such a small light. It's got such power, and with the Baton 3 Pro. It's an excellent light. It's excellent, has a lot of power. It's the same exact flashlight. Like I said, personally, I EDC the Warrior Mini 3 because it's a tactical flashlight, because you never know what kind of situation you're gonna be in. You can daily use it as a normal flashlight, you know, because it does cycle through like a normal flashlight, and it does have great run times. I love the fact of having the extra 250 lumens more than the Baton 3 Pro, and I love the fact that it has a tail switch where you could just go ahead into those tactical modes if you wanted to. Same thing with this one. I actually EDC this one in my pocket, and I EDC this one inside my backpack in my go bag, just because of the fact that they're great flashlights. And honestly, I use this one from when I'm around the house and stuff. If I'm kind of doing stuff around the house and I need a flashlight, I'll break this one out. So let's take these bad boys outside and compare them to each other so you guys can get a better perspective of what they're all about. The Warrior Mini 3 has a max beam distance of 240 meters or 790 feet in the 1750 lumen turbo mode. It also has a max candela of 14,400 CD, and it also utilizes a cool white LED tint coming in between 5,700K to 6,700K with a CRI of 70. All right, guys, I'm outside with the Warrior Mini 3, and we are about 20 feet away from the railing here in front of us, and I'm going to put this in the half lumen mode first, and I'm going to turn my light off here, and you can see from about 5 or 6 feet away, you could see pretty good with that. It looks better on my hand, but that's not really doing it, so I'm going to step this up a little bit. We're going to put this into the 15 lumen mode, and 15 lumens from approximately 20 feet away is really good. You can actually see what you're looking at. That's working out pretty well there. And now I'm going to throw this into the 120 lumen mode. This 120 lumen mode really steps things up. You can start seeing it really good there. Now from the 120 lumen mode, we're going to jump up again to the 500 lumen mode. That 500 lumen mode, you can actually start seeing into that tree line over there, which is approximately 80 feet to 100 feet away, depending on what bush you're looking at back there. Now I'm going to step it up again to the 1750 lumen turbo mode. That 1750 lumen turbo mode really goes out there pretty well. I mean, you can see everything. This thing is just busting through. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this in a little bit, and you can actually see that's showing everything. Like I said, about 100 feet back there to those two trees over there, and yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. You can really see what you're looking at out there. I'm going to zoom in some more so you can actually see what I'm seeing. You see that tree line? If there was an animal or something out there, you'd be able to see. If there's a person out there, you'd be able to see, no problem. And yeah, so we're going to zoom it back here and give you guys a shot. And that's how bright it is. It is crazy bright. And then, of course, you have your strobe. And then you turn it off, and there's pitch black. Now, for those of you who were leaning towards getting the Desert Tan Baton 3 Pro, this is what this looks like. So I'm going to put this in the half lumen mode. Half a lumen. You really can't see nothing. You know, very far away. I'm going to step it up again. We're going to go up to the 15 lumen mode. 15 lumens now, you can really start seeing, you know, what you need to see out there. 20 feet away from the railing. I'm going to step it up again. This is 120 lumens. 120 lumens, you can start to see out there pretty well. Now we're going to throw this into 600 lumens. 600 lumens, you can really see what you're looking at. Goes all the way out there into the yard. And then, of course, we're going to put this into the turbo mode, which is 1500 lumens. 1500 lumens, you can really see out there really well. Very nice. And of course, you have your strobe. And for those of you leaning towards the Warrior 3S, the Warrior 3S is awesome. So check this out. We're going to put this into the 1 lumen mode. That 1 lumen, you can actually see all the way out there to the railing, the 15 to 20 feet away. And now we're going to put this into the 15 lumen mode. 15 lumens, you could really start seeing out there. As you can see, it's punching a little bit better. And then, of course, we're going to bring this into the 200 lumen mode. That's 200 lumens. 20 feet away from the railing in front of there, you could start to actually really see out to the yard there. 200 lumens. And then we're going to go ahead and step this up again. 800 lumens. That is just really punching out there. 800 lumens. And then, of course, 800 lumens to 2300 lumens. 2300 lumens. You can really see out there into the yard there. And that's what it looks like. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now I'm going to throw these all into the turbo mode. We're going to start with the Warrior 3 and then the Baton 3 Pro, and then of course the Warrior 3S, and this is what these lights will look like side by side with each other. As you can see, not bad. Very, 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 very bright. Obviously 2300 lumens, and then of course you have 1750 lumens and then 1500 lumens down the center here. I'm going to just go ahead and do just the Baton 3 Pro. And Baton 3 Pro looks like this. You can really see out there. Very good, very nice. That's in the turbo mode, 1500 lumens. And now we're going to go ahead and do the 2300 lumens from the Warrior 3S. That's what that looks like. And then we're going to go ahead and do the Warrior 3 Mini, or Warrior Mini 3, and that's what it looks like as well. Very nice, very capable light. You can really start to see out there pretty well. We're going to go ahead and zoom in. You can see in that tree line up there. That's what it looks like with the Warrior 3 or Warrior Mini 3. And now we're going to switch it over to the Baton 3 Pro, and that's what the Baton 3 Pro looks like out there. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch it over to the 3S. So that's not bad at all. Very, very nice shots there. On my right, I have the Warrior Mini 3, and on my left, I have the Baton 3 Pro. We're going to go ahead and do a side-by-side beam shot comparison of this light. First, we're going to do the Warrior Mini with the help of the MOF, and then we're going to do the Baton 3 Pro. And as you guys can see, the Mini is way more punchy than the Baton 3. Obviously, you got the neutral versus the cool white. The neutral white is designed to be easier on the eyes, so that way you guys can go ahead and see what you're seeing without really losing too much of your night vision, whilst also bringing forth the natural colors of things. Both of these lights are excellent. Very wide beam on the Baton 3 Pro versus the tight beam on the Warrior Mini 3. And that's what they look like side by side, 300 feet away from that tree line over there. And then obviously you have the Warrior 3S and the Warrior Mini 3, and that's what they look like side by side. Guys, now I'm going to do a side-by-side beam shot. I have the Warrior Mini 3 right here on the right, and over here on the left I have the I have the Baton 3 Pro, and that's what that looks like side by side. We're about 15 feet away from the garage door in front of us, and now in the middle here I have the Warrior 3S, and that's, like I said, they're all about the same distance away from the garage door, and that's what they look like, guys. That's what it looks like. Just the two, the Baton 3 Pro, the Warrior Mini 3, and then of course the Warrior 3S in the center there, and that is 15 lumens for all of the lights from about 15 feet away from the garage door. My pros and cons are as follows. First, the pros. The feel of the new tactical switch felt luxurious, and the refined proximity sensor features are competent enough to make sure that you don't burn a hole in your pants like some of the previous models. Now for my cons. If I had to really dig for one con, it would be that the manual was kind of vague when explaining the new proximity sensor feature, but that's less of an issue with the feature itself and more of an issue with how it was explained. Otherwise, the Warrior Mini 3 does do exactly what it says it can do in the manual, and that's what counts. With that said, the Warrior Mini 3 retails for $89.99 at regular price, but you can pick one up during the July flash sale for just $62.99, along with a 5-year free from defects warranty, and your free keychain flashlight will automatically be added to your cart upon signing into your account. And don't forget that the Baton 3 Pro in Desert Tan will be on sale for just $52.49, and the Warrior 3S in OD Green will be on sale for just $83.96. And if you're watching this video but the sale has already ended, then you can still save some money by using my promo code PG10 to save 10% off of your purchase on the Olight Store website. I'll leave a link down in the description. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more awesome EDC gear each week. This has been Prepared Guy, and until next time, stay prepared.